everybody, and welcome to this edition of HCAM Sports Talk. Tom Nappy here, and today we are joined by Andy Barron from MyFm 101.3. Andy, how are you?
I'm doing well, Tom. How about yourself? Just the two of us today. Should be a good show. I was hoping Bob was going to jump on and start giving some of his NFL predictions for the season.
We'll have to get Bob on very soon.
Yeah,
he's very curious of what he thinks.
Yeah, well, hey, his Browns play the Patriots this year, so I mean,
that is correct.
That should be.
I wonder who Bob's going to pick. Actually, I believe I'm going to that game.
You going to that game?
I am. Yep.
Should be a good game.
Thanks to a very good friend of mine who got some tickets and invited me. Very nice.
Too bad you weren't going to the Tampa game, right?
I wish.
Nah,
I think everybody wishes they were going to that game, even if you're not a Pats or Bucks fan.
That's a game I think I just like to watch at home. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, you know, I am. I mean, I love going to games. I have a good time, but I don't mind watching them at home either. I mean, you get a much better view.
You get a better view, and you know, the other thing too, I like going to the 1 o'clock game. I'm a 1 o'clock guy. I mean, 4:25 isn't too bad either, but I just prefer the 1 o'clock games. You know, you get there, you get out at a good time. You're still home pretty early.
Yes,
for the most part. Nothing like tailgating on a beautiful fall afternoon.
Oh yeah, or a fall morning.
Fall morning.
It's a 1 o'clock game. You usually get there around 8 a.m. or so, 9 a.m.
Oh yeah,
and get those grills out and have a 9 a.m. hamburger, or maybe
sounds good.
Maybe you cook some breakfast. So
there you
we've
go.
done that before too. But I do want to mention, speaking of football, next week we'll have Jared and Kevin on the show. We'll have the usual four of us, and we'll be talking some fantasy football. A lot of the fantasy football drafts are coming up. So we'll be talking about who you should draft, who you shouldn't draft, who we think's going to be good, who's not going to be good. So that should be a fun show. That is next week as we kick off the fall season. The high school teams, they have hit the field. The Hillers are practicing, getting ready with their fall sports, soccer, football, and you got scrimmage games coming up. And we're hoping that this will be a pretty normal fall high school sports season. And hopefully there won't be too many stoppages.
Hopefully not. You hope that things will look good. I know some people are a little antsy right now, rightfully so, but you know, things are still pretty good here in Mass. Yes, you know, unfortunately, we have to keep our eyes on the numbers. They are going up, but hopefully it won't get to a level where you have to have cancellations or postponements, or you got to move night games to day games. But I still think you got to take it week by week, but it does at least feel like a normal season is on the way.
Well, hopefully we won't have Triple E strike.
Let's hope. Yeah, that was bad a few years ago. Yeah, you hope not.
2019, that season.
Seems like it was forever.
I mean, yeah, all the football night games were moved to afternoons because there was a Triple E problem. And it was a pretty weird season, but obviously nothing was more weird than last year. But hopefully a normal season this year. We'll keep our fingers crossed. But speaking of football, Patriots dominated the Philadelphia Eagles in preseason game number 2. Cam Newton, Mac Jones, both looked great. Newton went 8 for 9, throwing for 103 yards and a touchdown. Mac Jones, 13 for 19 for 146 yards. They dominated offensively, dominated defensively, and the Eagles, they were just terrible.
They were awful. Didn't even show up. I mean, they were so bad. Patriots dominated this game from start to finish. A lot stood out to me. Of course, the play of Cam Newton, the play of Mac Jones. Listen, I've been saying it all along. Cam is still the starter. I mean, I think eventually Mac will get in there. I don't know when, but right now, yeah, you got to go with Cam. And I thought Jacoby Myers really stood out. He's had a very good preseason. Right now, he's emerging as the best receiver on this team. I think he's better than Aguilar. I think he's better than Bourne. He's definitely better than N'Keal Harry. I mean,
yeah.
N'Keal Harry plays. Guy makes plays. He gets open. He runs good routes. He's tough. I mean, you've got to feel optimistic about Jacoby Myers really making a big impact on this team. The running game has been outstanding. The Patriots might have the best running back. They might have the best running team in the NFL.
Oh, definitely. And
they're a run-first team, Tom. This is going to be very similar to some of the old-style Patriots teams. I mean, you got James White, Damian Harris. Damian Harris is the best back on this team. He's just, some of the moves he makes are like, it's just eye-popping. You know, injuries will be a concern for him. Ramondre Stevenson has to make this team. The guy makes
He
plays.
looks great. He looked great in that game.
And JJ Taylor.
Yep.
I mean, again, and Brandon Bolden. Brandon Bolden's another guy.
Look at this, though. I mean, JJ Taylor had 12 attempts, 93 yards. That's an average of 7.8 yards per attempt. That's impressive.
Fast. He's tough to bring down. He reminds me of Stephen Ridley, but I think he's better.
Oh,
better,
definitely.
quicker, more fast on his feet. Sony Michel's the odd guy out. There's no room for him on this team. It's time to move on. I don't know if anyone's going to want to trade for him, but
he had a few good runs in last game, though.
He did, but he still just looks slow every time he carries the ball. For a first-round pick, him and N'Keal Harry have been a total bust for this team.
Oh, they certainly have. I'd say N'Keal Harry has been more of a bust than Sony Michel. I mean, without Sony Michel, you probably don't have as much success in 2018 as you did. He had a good year that year.
He did. I just think these backs are better. Maybe they still keep him. Maybe they put someone on the practice squad, but Brandon Bolden, I mean, is another guy like great on special teams. You know how big Bill Belichick is on special teams. He's good on the goal line. Somebody is the odd man out here. They're not going to keep 6 running backs.
No, I think one of them gets cut. It could be Brandon Bolden. I mean,
they could put him on the practice squad,
right? He's been hurt a lot, and who knows? He might not even start the season active, so he might be out anyway. In that case, maybe they do keep all 6 for now, and when Bolden comes back, they'll address it then. But I want to get back to N'Keal Harry because there was a beautifully thrown ball by Mac Jones right in the hands of N'Keal Harry. I couldn't believe he dropped it, but then I remembered it was N'Keal Harry. But that was just a miserable drop. And then, of course, he got hurt after he dropped it. He slammed it to the ground pretty hard, diving for that ball. And I don't know if he hit his head or his leg or
shoulder.
It looks like he hit both. Oh, shoulder. That was
Patriots just said 4 weeks now. So now he's out. Now he's hurt again. It's just like,
well, you can't cut. I don't think you could cut a player that gets hurt in preseason.
Nope, you can't. So you're stuck with him now. I mean,
it's one way to secure a spot.
I guess it just, again, that throw by Mac Jones, I mean, that really opened my eyes. Like, that is a legit NFL throw. I have not seen a rookie throw like that since Drew Bledsoe, really. I mean, you just have got to be encouraged by Mac Jones. Can you, I mean, I know it's way too early, but you've got to admit, after all the quarterbacks they bought in since Tom Brady, this guy's got the most potential.
Oh, definitely.
He's better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
I mean, yeah, he could end up being better because Jimmy G's been hurt so much. But I mean, I think a lot of people thought Jimmy G had big potential too. And I still think Jimmy G does have big potential if he stays healthy, but that's a big if.
Not really a smart player either. He just seems like he's always putting himself in bad positions. I think he's talented, but just the thing with Mac Jones, he just seems like he's got it. He comes from Alabama. He comes from a winning program. He's got that winning attitude. I mean, he doesn't get phased in the pocket either. Now, again, I know it's preseason. Let's see what it's like when he is playing against legit NFL competition, but how can you not be encouraged? I mean,
definitely. I think you got to be excited about this guy.
Absolutely. Now, let's not make a mistake. Okay. There's only one Tom Brady. Okay. You are never, ever going to get me there's only one Tom Brady, period. End of discussion. Do I think this guy can be good? Yes. But let's stop the comparisons, please. Enough. Right. There's one Tom Brady. That's it. Okay?
I will be shocked if there's ever anyone again as good as Tom Brady is.
Probably never will be. Well, we may not see it, but I mean,
right.
We didn't think anybody was going to be as good as Joe Montana, and then Tom Brady comes along. So, I mean, and Peyton Manning came along, but let's face it, those guys they're a once in a 100-year type of player, Oh,
definitely.
But I think that's not fair to compare him to that type. But you have to be encouraged, and I'm encouraged by the Patriots. I'm encouraged by the defense. I mean, how can you not be encouraged by Matt Judon? I have not seen a player like this on this team since Chandler Jones, which I still don't understand why we got rid of him. You imagine having him and Judon and Hightower, and if Chase Winovich can get going here, I mean, you got yourself.
I was pretty devastated when they got rid of Chandler Jones.
He's a great player.
Yep.
He still is. He still's a good player.
He's still making it happen over in Arizona.
He's done very well there.
Oh,
that's
definitely.
That's one player besides getting rid of Tom Brady, Chandler Jones is another guy I questioned. I'm like, look, I clearly the guy had maybe some issues, but man, when he was on the field, what a force he was.
Oh, certainly. Well, I mean, there's been a number of guys along the way they got rid of that I questioned, like Willie McGinnis, Richard Seymour.
Asante Samuel?
Yeah, Asante Samuel.
Yeah.
I didn't like it when they got rid of any of those guys.
Yeah.
But I was not happy they got rid of Chandler Jones. I still think it was a bad move. I don't think you were any better because of it. Maybe you were a little worse, especially some of those years after you got rid of him. You had one of the worst defenses in the league. So I think that negatively affected them for some time. But it is good that they spent money. I like Judon. I think he's going to be terrific. I like this defense. I think they have a good pass rush. I think they have a pretty good secondary. And if Gilmore gets healthy and decides to play, that will certainly give them a boost in the secondary. I also like what I saw at Chase Winovich. I'm hoping he's a guy that could take a step up this year. He started off the season really good last year, and then he kind of took a step back. I'm hoping that this guy's the real deal and can take a step up. I do think he has potential, and he's made some great plays so far in his career. He just doesn't make them enough, but hopefully we'll see that this season.
Seemed like when Chase Winovich got in Bill Belichick's doghouse, he never really kind of got out of it. I don't know why. Look, clearly the guy has talent. Now you got some better players, though, that are back on the team. I think that's going to help him because I like the player. I think he's tough. He's talented. He goes after the quarterback. That's what he's supposed to do. He also plays on special teams, does well there. Yeah, I agree. He needs to take a step up this year. But where do you think the Patriots right now? And again, it's still so early to tell. But where do you think this team lies in the AFC right now? Where would you put them?
I would put them towards the top for sure. I mean, especially if they get a consistent offense going, whether it's under Newton or Jones, I would put them towards the top because I think you have enough pieces on this team to definitely make a run for the AFC Championship. I mean, I put the Chiefs at the very top.
Chiefs, they're not better than the Chiefs.
In the AFC. No, I don't think they're better than the Chiefs. I think they have potential to maybe beat the Chiefs at some point. Probably not right now. But, I mean, I guess if I'm thinking about that second spot, I got the Bills and Pats neck and neck, really, for that second spot.
What the Browns?
And the Browns are probably floating around in the top 5 as well. I think they have a great team, and I think Baker Mayfield's going to make it happen there. But I really can't think of anyone outside of that. I mean, maybe the Ravens will take a step up this year, but the Steelers, I don't have any faith in them. I think they're a train wreck. The Titans, I mean, I guess you got to throw them.
Titans are still good
there.
They're still good. I mean, I think the Brown, I'm really interested though about the Browns and the Bills, if they might take a step back this year. You know what I mean? Because
I think
a lot
the
of people
Bills will. I think the Browns are going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could too. And you always get another team that kind of comes out of the blue that you think is going to be good. I still don't think it's going to be Miami. Maybe the Colts. Maybe I don't know.
No, they got Wentz. He's already hurt. So I don't think they're going to do much over there.
How about in the West? Like besides Kansas City, I mean, does Las Vegas really scare you? Do the Chargers?
I guess really. The Raiders, I mean, because they've spent so much money, but I don't have a lot of faith in John Gruden anymore because I think he's been a disaster. The Chargers, I like the Chargers last year. I thought they were a good young team. I think they could very well take a step up this year. I like, Herbert?
He's a good player.
Yeah, he's
good
a
player.
I think very talented. The Chargers are maybe that team to look out for. They were really young last year.
Yeah, we go to the West Coast to play the Chargers this year. Yeah, they're just a Jekyll and Hyde team. You never really know. I agree with you. I think it's Kansas City, it's Buffalo, Cleveland, the Patriots. I think the Ravens, they're always still like hanging around. And then you just get a bunch of really mediocre teams that really just don't really intimidate me.
I think the AFC is for the taking. I mean, besides the Chiefs, you could beat any one of those teams.
Certainly. And if it did come down to you play the Chiefs and that game's in Foxborough, I give the Patriots a great chance. Now, you go to Arrowhead, that's a different story. They have I mean, they did win up there a few years ago, but they have not had a lot of success out there. The Chiefs are very, very tough to beat at home. But do they take a little bit of a step back? I mean, they got their hands. They just got bashed in by Tampa Bay.
I'll tell you one thing though. The Chiefs' success is on the shoulders entirely of Pat Mahomes.
It is.
If he gets hurt, that team is done.
He wasn't 100% in that game. I think he got hurt in that Cleveland game. They beat him up pretty good. I mean, he played okay against the Bills, but he was not himself against Tampa. I mean, he looked lost in that game.
Well, was that the game he got knocked unconscious, or was that the Ravens? I think it might have been the Ravens.
He got knocked out against the Browns, and then they bought Chad. Then they bring Chad Henne.
Oh yes, it was the Browns.
And then he won the game for him. He was like an 18-yard rush on like third down. Oh, what a!
The Browns had the lead when that happened too. I don't know how they blew that game. That like, if you ever had a chance to beat the Chiefs, that was it. Chance. And Chad Henne saved the day.
Unbelievable.
And allowed them to go to the Super Bowl. But they didn't fare so well because
Tampa's the team to beat. I don't think anybody is going to debate that with me, unless they have a catastrophic injuries to Tom Brady, or who's going to beat them? Really? I mean,
no one. That team is stacked. They got everybody back. They got a great defense. They even added a couple pieces. I don't think anyone's touching Tampa. They're in a league of their own.
They are. The one team, though, I will say, that could give them a shot. I don't think they win, but it's the Washington football team. They do have a really good defense, and they gave Tom Brady some trouble in that game. He was getting a little frustrated. Now, again, they won by a touchdown, but they're not going to be intimidated. That is a team to keep your eye out. Chase Young is really good. I mean,
definitely.
He can wreak havoc on a team, and Tom Brady has struggled against those NFC East teams in his career. I mean, I'm just saying, probably not. You know, Tampa is still the team to beat, but I don't see anybody in the NFC who can take them down.
If only they would give that Washington team an actual name.
Yeah, can we give them a name, please? I mean,
yeah, right. I mean, all right, you don't want the Redskins. Come up with something else. You know,
they're like four.
I'm getting a little sick of saying Washington football team.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're thinking of you know, the I think they said the Washington, you know, the Red Hawks, or some of the team names. I mean, it just, you got to pick a name. I mean, let's go.
I don't care what it is. Just it can't be Washington football team. Okay. I don't care if you want to call them the Washington Footballs. That's better than a football team. But anyway,
Washington Generals. Remember the
right.
basketball
there
team?
You go. That's a great name. Washington Generals.
There you go.
George Washington logo. Perfect. But I think that team is good. I think that defense is scary. Yeah. I think that team, if they take a step up offensively, they will very much be in the fight for the NFC East. I think the NFC East is probably one of the easiest divisions in football to win.
Yep.
But I could see Washington having a good year, winning the division, going to the playoffs, and who knows with that defense. They're going to be an interesting team. I think Washington fans should be excited. They finally have a team that, you know, could actually be competitive.
Yeah, you should be excited. Now, does Ryan Fitzpatrick, is he the guy, or is it Taylor Heineke?
I think it's going to depend. You know, a lot of people think that Heineke was kind of a jinx and he was just successful for that one or two games, and that'll probably be it. I don't think that. I think Heineke has potential. But obviously, I mean, when you got Fitzmagic, you know, who knows what that guy can do. He has performed some miracles at the end of games.
Yes.
So, you know, maybe Heineke struggles, or maybe you just bring Fitzpatrick in the fourth quarter and see what happens. But they got an interesting quarterback situation. I don't know who's going to win that job.
Yeah, and Fitzpatrick, this is like his 17th year in the league, which is just, it's unreal. Like, he's been around this long. I mean, he's a good player. I mean, you know,
he is.
He's a serviceable quarterback, and he's better than a lot of the quarterbacks in the league.
And he's been on just about every team in the league. So,
yes,
you know, he has experience at every stadium.
He does. And you know, they have a good offense. You know, Logan Thomas is legit. Like, that is that's a legit tight end.
If he stays healthy, though, he's been hurt a lot.
Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I think it's It's Tampa. It's really Tampa's to lose. I mean, they really are going to just have to be peppered with injuries, I think, for them to have.
Well, I mean, I hope this never happens, but if Brady went down, that would be a pretty big shot for Tampa to take.
Oh, who's even their backup? Do you even know who the backup is for Tampa?
Actually, I was looking at the stats the other day, and I'm forgetting their names still, but they're awful. Their backups did not look good. It was hold on, I'll find it. There was that one guy who was holding Brady's they won the Super Bowl ring, had the celebration, and Brady was clearly intoxicated.
Oh, he was.
They have that guy that helped Brady off the boat.
Okay, that's the backup quarterback. Hey, listen, if you're Tampa Bay, you probably like to have a guy like Mac Jones now, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah. Well,
I mean,
Tampa
really
didn't have any chance of getting him. There's no way that guy was falling to 31.
Oh no, but
I was
I'm
surprised
just
he
saying
fell as low as he did. I figured someone would scoop him up before.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if he turns out to be good, man, there's going to be some teams that be like, we should have taken this guy. I mean, sometimes that happens. You know, a guy just falls in your lap, and
Kyle Trask. There it is.
What's his name?
Kyle Trask.
Trask.
Drew Stanton.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know that guy was still around.
Yeah, no, they have no shot at playing unless Tom Brady goes down. And wouldn't that be
Ryan Griffin? I think that's the number one backup. And
Okay.
they got Blaine Gabbert on the roster. They have a lot.
Blaine Gabbert's there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still playing. Wow.
You know, Tampa this week, they played nothing but backups.
Oh yeah.
Against the Titans, and they looked awful.
Why are they going to play their starters? They are going to roll over Dallas. I mean that.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man.
I'm looking forward to seeing that too.
Oh, they're going to win by like 4 touchdowns. That game's not even going to be close. They are going to steamroll Dallas. I mean, the Cowboys have no shot to win that game.
No, I don't think so. I don't even think the Cowboys are going to win their division, to be honest with you.
No, I think Washington is.
Yeah, I think Washington is the team to beat right now if you're in the NFC East.
I've been watching a lot of documentaries on the Cowboys because Jimmy Johnson's going to be going into the Ring of Honor in Dallas, and this team has been a disaster since he left. I mean,
oh yeah, absolute disaster. They haven't won anything since what, 95?
Yep. Well, when Barry Switzer took over, they won a Super Bowl, but since that, no.
They've been a total mess.
And then they show the botched field goal with Tony Romo. Like that is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. That you got to say, this team is Bill Parcells couldn't even turn it around. I mean,
yeah. Oh, that was unbelievable, that botched field goal. That was unreal. And then Romo, I felt bad for the guy. He was just
I remember seeing that play and I just was stunned. I'm like, I've never seen anything.
Wasn't that his rookie year too?
Yeah, he was pretty young when he did that, but it just wow.
I think that ruined him, that play.
You know, sometimes you're defined on one play. I mean, just think of like that, or David Tyree catching the ball, and then Julian Edelman making that ridiculous catch that I still can't believe he caught in the Super Bowl. Sometimes you're defined on that one play. Jim Marshall from the Vikings, who ran the wrong way in the 70s. He's a Hall of Fame player, but he's still defined on that one play.
Or, of course, the Malcolm Butler interception.
Yep, Malcolm Butler. Oh, of course. I mean, but that happens sometimes. That unfortunately just gets overshadowed when you're running the wrong way in a football field. That gets overshadowed, unfortunately.
If they're doing that, they probably have a concussion. One thing that I wasn't happy with the Patriots was the performance of Quinn Nordin. He did not have a good day. He missed 3? He was 2 for 4 on extra points, 1 for 2 on field goals. But the field goal he missed was very short. I believe it was 36 yards, and he totally shanked it.
He was terrible.
He missed 2 extra points. That was not a good performance.
No.
And let's not forget, they still have Nick Folk. He's been hurt, but if Nordin kicks like that in game 3, I don't think they cut him. I think he'll be the guy going to the practice squad, though.
I agree with you. Let's not forget, Nick Folk is pretty consistent. Like he's not a great kicker, but I think he's pretty tough. I mean, the guy had an appendicitis. He comes back from that. He does well. He was really kind of helping the team out. Nordine looked great in that first week, and he was awful in that second game. That was not a good sign. No, I don't think they're going to cut him. I think he'll probably go on the practice squad if Folk can get healthy, but was not encouraged. And it just goes to show you, this is a week-to-week league.
It definitely is. And I was so disappointed Nordine was bad because I really just wanted this guy to be this outstanding kicker, and maybe he is. It's too early to tell, but I was hoping this guy was going to be unbelievable and just end up being the best kicker in the league. He does have a huge leg. I mean,
he does.
They had one of the reporters, I think it was Perillo or one of them during the game, state that he was making 60, 65-yard field goals in practice, which that's amazing. 60 yards, 65. You get a kicker that could consistently do that, that'll be deadly.
Here's somebody I just thought of. It just popped in my mind. You remember Scott Sisson, who played for the Patriots in the 90s? Very, very similar to Quinn Nordine. Unbelievable leg. Was kicking 60, 65 yards in practice, and he was missing 25-yard field goals in games, and Bill Parcells had to cut ties with him. It's don't you just think like a kicking job, though? That's all in your head. I mean,
I think a lot of it is.
Yeah.
I mean, because clearly this guy has the ability to make any 35-yard field goal. He has the leg. So it's not an ability issue. It's a mental issue with this guy. He just totally choked every opportunity he got.
Yep.
In that second game, he just choked it away. I mean, he had the distance on every kick. It was just wide.
Yep. Well, this is hopefully a good learning experience for him that, sometimes we need to be told you're not as good as you think you are. And right. I think Tom Brady was probably told that a few times too. I mean, this is the NFL. This is professional sports. I mean,
well, whoever told him that was wrong every time.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
but I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying.
He did have bad games. I mean, let's face it, everybody has bad games. And you know what? If Brady didn't have the coaching that he had in his younger days, maybe he wouldn't be who he is today.
It goes hand in hand. I say it all the time. And the days just keep counting down as we're getting closer and closer to that game. Listen, I'm going to make a prediction right now. The Patriots are not going to get blown out in that game. Everyone's saying that Tampa's just going to roll over them. I totally disagree. This is going to be a Super Bowl type atmosphere. You're at home. This is at Gillette Stadium. Tom Brady does not need to win this game. He's already won the Super Bowl, which none of us thought he was going to do with Tampa Bay. This game means so much more to the Patriots. I'm telling you right now.
I disagree with you there.
You do?
It's not that Tom Brady needs to win the game. He doesn't need to do anything, but I think in his head, he needs to win the game.
Well,
if you think about it, the Patriots is the only NFL team he's never beat.
That's true.
And he has a chance to do that. Yeah. He has a chance to do something that actually another thing that no one's ever done, because no one has ever beat every single team in the NFL. Brady could actually do that.
It's just,
I think in his head, he needs to win this game.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from on it. It just, what has he not done? I mean,
he doesn't need to win it for his legacy.
No,
but in his mind, he needs to win it for his legacy.
I think they're going to throw the kitchen sink at this guy. I mean, this is going to be all hands on deck. Listen, there's nobody that knows him better than Bill. I mean, Now he knows Bill better than anybody too. I think this game is going to come down to coaching. I really do. I mean, now we know how talented Brady is, but don't tell me Bill has got this game circled on his calendar.
Oh, definitely.
He's not going to admit it, but
he'll never admit that. But know he wants this one back.
Of course. And the players are, listen. When the Tom Brady's going to get cheered, I think we all agree with that. But at the end of the day, when the balls start getting snapped, that's over with. I mean, this is all hands on deck. If he goes down on a sack or something, that place is going to erupt. I mean,
oh yeah. I mean, let's not forget. I mean, in the debate of Belichick versus Brady, right now everything has gone towards Brady. Brady won the Super Bowl first year without Belichick on a brand new team, and on an organization that hasn't won the Super Bowl since what? 2002.
He won with Tampa Bay,
and he just goes there and wins the Super Bowl. It's unbelievable.
It's unreal.
So right now, I mean, Belichick is looking pretty stupid, after Brady just won that Super Bowl at Tampa Bay. Belichick was the one getting criticized. Belichick wants this game because he has a chance to not turn all of that around by winning this game, but some of it. He could get some of the favor back in his direction if he somehow comes out and beats Brady in week 4.
Well, the ultimate would be if he beats him in a Super Bowl. Then it's like, all right, then which it could happen. I still think it's a long shot, but
that would be the most watched. I mean, the Super Bowl is already the most watched event on television.
Be the most watched event in the history of television, probably.
Yes. I don't think there'd ever be any event that would beat a Patriots Bucks Brady Belichick Super Bowl.
Nothing would. I mean, it's just it would just, and like I said, you give the Patriots a chance because they still have the coach. I mean, it's going to come down to coaching because I think we admit Tampa's more talented. I think we all agree with that. But
definitely,
you still have a great coach. That is going to be a competitive game. It's not going to be a blowout.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a blowout either. I really don't, especially if, I mean, let's say it's Cam Newton and he throws 3 picks. That's not good. Maybe it is a blowout in that case, but I think by then it'll probably be Mac Jones starting. I mean, I just don't see Cam Newton ending up being the starter more than week 1 or 2. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. But if I had to guess, I think it'll be Mac Jones starting that game. I mean, who knows? I could be wrong, but just based on what I've seen in preseason so far, I think it could. Well, actually, maybe with the recent trouble Newton's got in, maybe he won't be the week 1 starter with the.
What's going on with that? Like,
apparently, he never got his vaccine, and the team didn't know about it, and I don't know the whole story, but I think he didn't get his vaccine. He made a doctor's appointment and went during practice, and I guess got the vaccine. I don't know what he did, but somehow the team discovered he never got the vaccine. And obviously in the NFL, it's a big problem right now that they mandate them. They want COVID issues, I guess, like they had last year. But, we could save the vaccine debate for another day. But he didn't get the vaccine, and I guess that's why he had to leave the team for 5 days or something like that. But supposedly he'll be back Thursday at practice. So I guess we'll see. But it's a weird situation. I kind of have no idea what happened. I'm hearing all the stories about it, and I'm still asking myself, so what happened?
Yeah, and the Patriots are very tight-lipped on a lot of things. You're now a couple weeks away from that Miami game, which listen. You got Miami, you got the Jets and the Saints. These are 3 winnable games that the Patriots should before you play Tampa. They should be 3-0. I think there's a good chance they'll be 3-0. Listen, do you think the Jets are not better than the Patriots?
No,
I mean, that's a game you have to win.
I don't know if the Jets are better than Houston.
Well,
actually, no, they are. But
Houston is just.
I don't have a high opinion of the Jets.
They beat the Jets. I think they beat the Dolphins because it's here. You feel good about it. It's a 4-25.
Now the Dolphins could be an obstacle. I think they do have some talent.
Well, they're better than the Jets, definitely.
But I don't have any faith in Tua.
No. I think now if they still had Ryan Fitzpatrick, yeah, but
well, they don't though.
But they don't. I like the Patriots. I think they're 3-0. I still think the Saints are kind of they're coming here. I mean, Breeze is gone. I mean, it's just.
I think the Saints are going to take a big step back.
Yeah,
this
I agree.
year.
I agree.
Because let's face it, I always forget the guy's name. Quarterback Saints.
Well, yeah, Teddy Bridgewater too, and he's gone.
Who's the quarterback?
Taysom Hill, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So Taysom Hill is good, has potential, but he's no Drew Brees.
No, of course not.
And now he's going to have to throw the ball a lot. That might not go well for the Saints. But believe it or not, we're out of time for this discussion. Coming up next, after we take a short break, you're going to see a recap of Ashland Legion baseball in the Commissioner's Cup. It's a great 20-minute recap filled with awesome highlights and interviews. So we thank you for joining us on this edition of HCAM Sports Talk. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more. A big thank you to Andy Barron for joining us. For Andy Barron, I'm Tom Nappy. Ashland Legion baseball Commissioner's Cup recap coming up next. On Sunday, August 1st, Ashland Legion took on Newton in the zone tournament portion of the Commissioner's Cup tournament. Newton leading 6-1, heading to the bottom of the second. Ashland gets some offense going.
Dushney out of Holliston High. He's going to be retiring this year. There's a fly ball in the left center field, and that ball is going to drop up against the fence. Dawson scores. Calabrese scores. And Dushney finds himself on second base with a 2 RBI double. Like I was saying, he looked really, really strong in batting practice. There's a ball hit into right center. Ball picked up. Dushney gets to home. Another run for Ashland 77.
A 6-4 Newton lead, heading to the bottom of the third, and the Ashland Bats get going again. That throw from the catcher didn't allow him to do so.
Newton's infield coming in all the way on the grass to cut down any run at the plate. And there's a ground ball, and that's up the middle. Scoring is Radcliffe, and Larry Tang comes in to score the tying run. 6-6, locked up in a tie ball game. Larry Tang doesn't move too bad for a big kid. Barron is playing close to the cut of the grass. There's a ground ball into left field. Herder scores easily. Sammy Farrell picking Newton apart right now in the gap. Sam Farrell could easily score from first base. Calabrese at second base. There's a fly ball in the center field, and that ball's going to get down. Calabrese scores. Sammy Farrell scores. Wang cuts it off, and there's a double for Matt Neal. I told you Sam Farrell would score from first base on a double. Wasn't even close.
It was a 9-7 Ashland lead, heading to the bottom of the fifth, but Post 77 added some more security.
The runner could almost walk in. He says, yeah, I know, I saw it. I gave him a signal. There's a ground ball, and that's through the shortstop and the third baseman, and that plates a run. Base hit for Sammy Farrell, run scored by Nick Calabrese. There's a ground ball slowly hit by the third baseman, and there goes Sammy Farrell. Over at shortstop. There's a ball hit into right field. That's going to get down. In comes Donovan to score. 2 more runs. It's 13-7. Ashland Post 77.
Owen Radcliffe having quite the day at the plate.
Yeah. Wow.
Ashland would take the game 14-8 and advance on to the Zone 5 semifinals. Ashland battled Lowell in the semifinals of the Commissioner's Tournament, which took place at Hudson. Post 77 added a pair of runs in the bottom of the third.
There's a fly ball in the left center field. The center fielder going back for that one, and that is going to be off the fence. Neal going to try for 3. Throw to cutoff man. He's going to have to eat it. Ball is overthrown. There's nobody at the home. Well, there was a little calamity of errors there. There's a base hit in the right center field. Oh no. That was a great catch. I thought that ball was dropping, but sacrifice fly works, scores Kavanaugh. Sorry about that, you folks at home. I thought that ball was going to drop.
All right, dude, that was a great catch, though.
Yeah.
A 2-0 lead heading to the bottom of the fourth.
Set to deliver. And this is tattooed over to left field to the fence, and it'll roll all the way to the fence. Here comes one run in to score. Farrell flying down the third base path. He is in, and that is going to be a 2 RBI double for Matt Neal.
Post 77 adds 2 more. Lowell responded with 2 of their own in the 5th, and Post 77 held a 4-2 lead heading to the bottom of the 6th.
Swing away, jump at it, and that'll score the run. Give the RBI to Cowan.
Ashland adds another run and put Lowell down to their final 3 outs.
Quite a double play by Lowell to get out of the bottom of the 6th.
Look at a 1-2-3.
Ooh. And he strikes out. It falls out of the catcher's glove. They call him out. 1 away. Here's the 2-2. And this is hit in the air, right side, and it is caught for the out. 2 away. Lowell down to their final out.
Dom Kavanaugh gets the first 2 outs, but had to come out due to pitch count rules. Max Dushney closes it out, and Ashland wins 5-2 and advances to the Zone 5 sectional finals in the Commissioner's Cup tournament.
Yeah, definitely wanted to end this rivalry on a good note. After years of battling with them, they're always close games, they're always tough games. So to end this one on top is extra sweet tonight.
Absolutely, and you guys seem to have a lot of fun out there. What's it been like playing with this group?
This group is weird, man. I'm not gonna lie. Couple characters, definitely not the same team as past years, but at the end of the day, I love these boys, love playing with them. So I'm glad we got the win today. I'm glad we're ending the season on a high note.
And after a tough loss against Natick in the state tournament, you must, or the zone tournament leading to the states, you must be happy to have this Commissioner's Cup and get some more games under your belt, especially with the shorter season this year.
Yeah, definitely. This season felt kind of rushed in a weird way, but these last couple of games, especially because we're finding our rhythm, finding a groove. Definitely great to have these games to play, and hopefully tomorrow ends the same way as tonight.
All right. So you couldn't face the last batter. I believe it was a pitch count issue.
Yeah.
That must have been a little heartbreaking not being able to finish it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the way she goes, I guess. But I'm just glad we got the win at the end of the day.
All right. Well, congratulations on a great performance out there, and best of luck in the zone championship part of the Commissioner's Tournament.
Yeah, we dropped 2 to them in the regular season, so it feels good to finally get one against them this year.
And what's it been like playing with this group this season?
It's been fun. It's my first year. You can really tell everyone cares about each other. It's been a lot of fun this last year.
And Dom Kavanaugh had a great performance on the hill tonight. Could you talk about his performance?
It's kind of his last dance, He's going off to college tonight, and he really put it on the line for our team, and just proud of him.
No, definitely. They've had our number all year. And we sort of talked after the Natick game in the district final, which was a frustrating loss, probably the worst game I've seen us play in years. And it was just about getting back to what makes us us, and that's just having fun playing baseball, being loose, enjoying it. We're an old team. We're going to lose 9 guys. We have 7 freshmen in college. So a lot of these guys, they're not playing baseball again after this. This is really it. And so this was an important game for them. We just wanted to go out, finish the season the right way, get a couple character wins. And they did that tonight over a really good team.
And Dom had quite an impressive start on the mound. Could you talk about his performance?
Yeah, so going into it, I had Nick Calabrese penciled in as the starter because Dom's leaving for college tonight. So he has to report tomorrow for college football. So he drove back from his family vacation at the Cape a little early, pulled into the parking lot 15 minutes before the game. I had to change up the lineup card. And this is the last baseball game he's realistically ever going to play. And it was just like, hey, leave it all out there. And he did. He pitched one of the best games I've seen him pitch. He was great at the plate. It was good to see him play one last time, though, because he's been a 4-year guy with us who's meant a lot to this team. I've got to know him really well as a kid. And he's a great, great guy, great athlete. And that shined tonight. So.
Absolutely. He's been fun to follow throughout the last few years and been a tremendous contributor to the team. Matt Neal had quite a performance at the plate going 3 for 4. Can you talk about his performance?
Yeah, Matt Neal, he missed like 2 games in like the early end of the season. And since he got back is just absolutely smoking baseballs. I mean, in the last 2 days, he was 4 for 4 yesterday, 3 for 4 today. Yesterday he had a pair of doubles and a triple. Today he had a double and a triple. I think he's at like 9 RBIs in the last 2 games. He's seeing the ball really well. He's smoking it. He's a great player. He plays with a lot of passion. It's fun to see.
Ashland took on Natick in the Zone 5 finals in the Commissioner's Cup tournament. The Bats got going in the first inning.
Field hockey?
I believe he plays hockey. And this is rocketed over to left center, and that is going to drop for a hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Farrell, and now a 3rd run going to try to score. Cowan's in, and it is a 3 RBI double for Kevin Balowitz. A 3-0 post-77 lead.
You bring him down and he just hits.
After the 3 runs in the first inning, some great pitching and defensive plays from both teams prevented any further runs from scoring. Ashland took the win 3-0. Unfortunately, despite qualifying for the state portion of the Commissioner's Cup tournament, Ashland had to withdraw due to the fact that too many of their players are heading off to college or to join their AAU teams. We caught up with some of the last year players at the end of the game. Ashland finishes with a record of 15 wins and 3 losses overall.
Season. It was a lot of fun. The boys really came together, and although it wasn't the season we wanted, we had a lot of fun and went on a high note with tonight. So it was a great season. A lot of fun.
All right, and what's next for you?
I'm going back to St. Mike's in the fall. I was a freshman there, so going back there in the fall and see how things go. Yeah, should be a good year.
All right. Well,
thank you. Thank you for a good year. Thank you.
You're gonna be a sophomore. All right. How'd you enjoy playing with this group this year?
It was fun. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. We had a lot of fun. We won. We lost. We played.
That's a good description.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's next for you?
I'm going back to Worcester Polytechnic. I'll be a sophomore.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
It was fun. It was my first year, so really enjoyed it. Tough year, you know.
Are you back next year with Legion, or?
Maybe. We'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, what's next for you? Anything athletic-wise?
Yeah, I'm gonna go down to Salve, Regina, play with Brandon. Yeah.
Playing this year was a lot of fun. You know, we got plenty of hardworking guys that just pushed me to succeed, and I was proud to call my teammates all this year.
And what's next for you?
I'm going to Penn State to be a freshman next year.
All right. Well, best of luck at Penn State.
Thank you.
I mean, it never really gets old. Like, there's never a shortage of fun and like meeting new people. I mean, I thought I was gonna know the crowd, but you always meet new people. Like I met Neil, Herder, CC. That's just looking around over there. I mean, you meet friends for. I mean, Dom, like that's a big one. Like close with that kid, so it's always special. We have fun.
All right. Was there anyone you didn't like?
Obes is getting old, honestly. It's been a while with Obes. From wiffle ball, like, what grade? 4th? Obes was in 4th grade. I met him playing wiffle ball, backyard.
Absolutely dusted him in wiffle ball.
Thank you, guys. I'll be back next year. I'll be starting at Nichols College next year, playing baseball and studying business.
This was my 3rd and final year with Coach Obes. It's been a pleasure playing with all these guys all my life, so I'm going to miss them, but it was a good way to end it.
And what's next for you?
I'm going back to Clark University in the fall, playing baseball there. Should be good.
So much fun as always. This is my 3rd year on the team. So much fun to be able to get some new guys here, and then also continue to play with the guys who I've been on the team for 3 years. It's just been a blast. This is it for my baseball career. So, overall, so thankful, to have had the opportunity to bet on, 7s for the past 3 summers.
All right, so what's next for you?
Going to be a sophomore at Fairfield, but involved in other things, and I think time to move on in life. But overall, again, enjoyed my time here, and so grateful to be for 3 great summers and all the relationships developed.
I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. This was my 3rd year, so I played with most of these kids for the past 3 seasons and never gets old. So a lot of these kids I played with starting at 8 years old. So it's sad it's coming to an end, but there's never a dry moment. Always having fun.
All right,
it's a good way to end it.
Absolutely. What's next for you?
I'm going to Virginia Tech this fall.
That's terrific. And how's the leg holding up?
It's holding up, doing its thing. It's getting better, but gonna get a lot better moving forward too.
Well, it looked like it held up very well out there today.
Yeah, it did.
All right, well, congratulations on a great season, and we certainly enjoyed watching you play.
Thank you.
So how was it coaching this group this year?
Yeah, it was an interesting year for sure. Definitely a rushed season, sort of thrown together. I mean, paperwork was done in like a day. Like, it was very, very rushed, and it was weird with the 2 sets of playoffs. It was tough to get in a rhythm, definitely at the start, but I think, honestly, unfortunately, after the loss to Natick in the district final, we flipped a switch, started cleaning up a lot of mistakes and playing our best baseball. So it's a shame it has to end now, but I mean, it's fun as always. We've had a lot of these guys for multiple years, and they've made great contributions. So it's great. I mean, I enjoy coming to the field every day for practice, just everything with these guys. I'm going to miss a lot of these kids a lot.
All right, well, it must feel good to end on a high note with a win here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Good to go out that way, especially the team that beat us and knocked us out of the playoffs earlier, and kind of a bittersweet ending. As Jake said, hard to not have it be when it really mattered and would have gone to the state tournament, but good way to end it nonetheless.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that we had a 17-4 season and it still was kind of depressing ending, but it was still a lot of fun, and I know the boys learned a lot and had a great time. So.
Well, it was certainly not a normal season. I'd say you guys did a great job. Can we expect you all back next year, coaching?
We're gonna hope so. We hope so.
We hope
I
so.
mean, I'm making the transition that Andrew just made. Just graduated school. Going to be working full time. Going to be living in Boston. So it'll be a little tougher. But I mean, my plan is to do everything I can to come back, to try and stay as long as I possibly can. I mean, I'm like kind of addicted to coaching this team, so I might end up just quitting my 9 to 5 before I quit. So
There's been a lot of work put into this team since Jake and I graduated high school. It'd be a shame to just walk away. So I think we'll both be as involved, and hopefully Grover, as he plays baseball, will be as involved as possible. But I think we'll put it together.
Yeah. And even, I mean, Tom, you've been here since the early days. We were talking back there, just for this group especially, seeing how a 17-4 season was a disappointment just shows how far this program's come. I mean, you have filmed games where you probably had a tough time saying positives about the team. So this program's came a long way, this team's came a long way. Like Andrew said, we don't want to throw that away. We want to try and stay involved. I'm excited about the future. It's going to look a lot different, but different's not necessarily a bad thing, so excited about it.
Yeah, this program certainly has come a long way. Were you going to say something?
Oh, no. That's it.
Yeah, this program certainly has come a long way, in large part because of this group right here. Congratulations on a great year, guys.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Appreciate it,
Tom.